Seventh graders. So, we finished the part of the book that takes us through all of the fundamentals of solving equations. How to solve equations, what the goal of solving equations is, to get the variable on one side by itself. And then we did a little bit of solving inequalities and graphing. And that leads us into chapter 8, which is a lot about graphing. And graphing on the coordinate plane. Remember last year when we worked with the coordinate plane and you learned about the coordinate plane? It has the x-axis which goes across, and the y-axis. Here's a sample of that on your worksheet. The x-axis goes across, the y-axis goes up and down, and so you've got two numbers that tell you where the points are on a coordinate plane, the x and the y. Okay? In this first lesson, here's an x and y chart. Sometimes it's called a T-chart. And in this first lesson, we're going to learn some new vocabulary words that deal with graphing. Okay? The first is called a relation. A relation. Relations in math are a set of data or a set of numbers that go together that give you points on a graph. So, it's a group of numbers like these numbers here. 0 goes to 1. The x is 0, the y is 1. Then, the 1 in the x goes to 2 and to 3. 1 gives us points 1, 2, and 1, 3 on this T-chart. So, this whole thing together is called a relation. Okay? We're also going to learn about something called a function. A function is a type of relation. It's a type of set of numbers. Okay? It's a characteristic of these sets of numbers. Sometimes a relation is a function, and sometimes it's not a function. So, we can tell if the relation is a function if every x value, here's the x values, sometimes these x values are called the domain of the function. And if every x value has only one y value, then it's called a function. Then the relation is called a function. Okay? So, what is a relation again? Aiden? Let's review. What is a relation? It's like this chart. The whole thing is called a relation. Yep. It's a data set, a set of numbers, or a group of numbers. Okay? What is the domain of a relation? Andrew. Find the word domain in your notes and on the board. And read that for us. What is the domain of a relation? Okay, it's the numbers under the x, okay? It's the numbers under the x are the domain of the relation, okay? What is the range of the relation, Maya? The numbers under the y, okay? Sometimes the domain numbers are written all together. The range numbers are written all together in these brackets. So when you're given a set like on your worksheet, sometimes it'll ask you, list the domain. When it says list the domain, this is how you list them. You put brackets around the edges, and then you write them out in separating them by commas, 0, 1, and 2. 0, 1, and 2. Does everybody see that? If it asks you to list the range of the relation, Danny? what would you list? The range are the Yep, and how else can you describe them? They're under what? Y. Under the Y. They're the list of Y values. In the what? Which word describes the group of numbers? The relation. Yep. It's a data set. The range of the data set are the what, Kaden? Which numbers? The Y numbers. Okay? Is everybody clear on what we're looking at? Okay, then, how do you tell if it's a function, Evelyn?
Function?
Yeah, if this set of numbers is a function.
Every x has one y value.
Right, so let's look at this particular set now. Does every x only have one y value? Is this a function? Bethany?
No.
No, it's not a function. Then how do you know?
Because the one on the x-axis has 2 and 3 on the y.
Very good. The number 1 on the x-axis has 2, the value 2, and the value 3. So the point 1, 2, and 1, 3, because this number 1 has 2 values, this set is what, Melina? Is it a function or not a function? Not a function. Okay? It's not a function. There's another way to tell if a graph is a function. Okay? And it's called the vertical line test. The vertical line test. Look at this. If you have a graph and there are 2 points that are on the same vertical line. So if we were to graph these 2 points, 1, 2, how would you graph the point or the this ordered pair it's called, right? Remember that term, ordered pair? If you were to graph this ordered pair, 1, 2, how would you graph it? Do you remember? How do you graph the point 1, 2? Andrew? Yeah, you go to the right one because this is a positive one, and any positive move either goes to the right or up. The x value is positive. Follow along here, this is a quick review. The x value is positive 1, so we move to the right 1 first. And then you'd go up, what? Aiden? No, up 2. You went right 1 and you go up 2. So that's where that point would be. And if you were to graph 1, 3, you would go right 1 and 3 up. So these 2 points on the graph are stacked right on top of each other. Or they're on the same what, Sophie? They're on the same, what's this line called? Yeah, it goes straight up and down. It's a vertical line, good. If 2 points lie on the same vertical line on a graph, then this is, Sophie? It's not a function. Okay, repeat that. If 2 points are on the same vertical line, everybody, if 2 points are on the same vertical line, then this is not a function. Then it is not a function. Okay? How can you tell by looking at a relation if it is a function? How can you tell that 2 points are going to be on the same vertical line just by looking at the numbers? It says it up here in the notes. How can you tell if 2 points are going to be on the same vertical line? By looking at the numbers. Andrew. Okay, so if an x value has more than one, Melina, if an x value, the same x value has more than one in the y column, then not a function, because 2 points will, what, Aiden? 2 points will be on the same, yes, exactly, just what you said before. Just if two x values, or sorry, the same x value has two what? Two of y values, then those 2 points will be on a vertical line, and it will be, there will not be, I should say, it will not be a function. Okay? All right. Let's go to your worksheet. So, it says graph the relation. You remember how to graph this? How do you plot points again? How do you plot points? How would you graph the first set of numbers? -4, comma 1. -4, comma 1. How would you graph that first? The first one. Kaden?
You go over to the left, -4.
Good.
And then you go up 1.
And up 1. The first number, the x value, tells you always how far to go either right or left. So you start at 0. Now you don't put a dot at 0, but just start at 0. Count to the left 4 because it's a -4. So everybody, you can do that right now. Follow along with me. Go to the left 4. And then up 1 because it's a positive 1. Left 4, up 1. Then, for the next point, 1, comma 3. Cindy, where would we go to plot this one? The next one, 1, comma 3. Where we go left or right first? Go right, because it's a positive 1. Go right 1. Then where? Up 3. 1, 3. And mark that point. Where's the next one, Bethany? 4, comma 0. Yeah, so we go right 4, and you stay there, yes. Because you go up or down 0. So this is on the x-axis. Okay? And 1 comma negative 2. Sophie? Start at 0. Go right or left first. But it's positive 1. Right 1. So then what? The next number is negative 2. Down 2. Yep. Good. Now, something we learned last year, these 4 quadrants have numbers. They have Roman numerals, yeah, yep. Starting where? Top right. So the positive quadrant is quadrant 1 with a Roman numeral. Then what, Maya? Where's quadrant 2? Yeah. So mark that one as quadrant 2. Quadrant 3 is left and down. And quadrant 4 is right and down. Okay? Questions on that? So then, is this a function? Is this a function? Jacob? Is this one a function? Why?
Because there's curve on 1.
Yep. 2 points on one vertical line, on the same vertical line, okay? So this is not a function. Any questions on that? Okay. Then, number 3, skip to number 3. You'll do numbers 1 and 2 the same way. Number 3, how do you list the domain of a relation? What is the domain again? Devlin? Yeah. Number 3, for each relation, list the members of the domain. List the members of the range.
7, 8, negative 5, and negative 9 for the x-axis.
7, 8, negative 5, negative 9. Now, what should we put around the edges of each list?
Well, not quotations.
They're just like squiggly lines. They're actually called brackets.
Yeah.
But when you draw them, you can just draw them as squiggly lines so that they don't look like numbers. And you don't use parentheses either, because parentheses only go around the ordered pair. So you just put squiggly lines around them, okay? How about the range? What is the range?
-2. -3 again.
Now, should we list -2 twice? No. Only list it once, because -2 is a member, okay? And if we already list it, when we're listing the members, you only list them one time, okay? So -2. And what? So based on the numbers, is this a function? Melina? Yes, it is. Yep. It is, because none of the x values are listed twice, meaning that none of the x values have 2 different y values. So this is a function. and explain it. The x values have only one y value. Each x value has only one y value. Questions on this? All right, complete the worksheet then for tomorrow.